and working together, and I tried to learn from him, and I think he tried to learn from me, and so...
Here's a footage of Steven Seagal claims he knew Bruce Lee. He said he practiced and worked out together with Bruce Lee. He also said that he thinks Bruce Lee tried to learn from him.
Working together, and I tried to learn from him, and I think he tried to learn from me, and so being able to work with him that day and fight him was a great pleasure. And fight him was a great pleasure. And fight him was a great pleasure.
Steven Seagal claims he worked with Bruce Lee and fights him. Steven Seagal was born in 1952. Bruce Lee, however, died in 1973. That means Steven Seagal was only 21 years old. In the early 70s, we all know that Bruce Lee spent most of his time in Hong Kong making his movies such as The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, and Way of Dragon. At the time, Seagal was not yet a master in Aikido. Isn't this sound suspicious? What do you think then? How real this story is? Let's see what else Seagal said in the interview.
And teacher.
And teacher. Friends with James Coburn as well, who was one of Bruce Lee's students. Indeed.
That's how I met Bruce Lee.
Indeed.
That's how I met Bruce Lee.
Indeed.
That's how I met Bruce Lee, was through James
Tell me, I was going to ask.
Steven Seagal claims he knew Bruce Lee through James Coburn. It has to be 1973 or way earlier than that. In 1973, Seagal was only 21 years old, and at that time, James Coburn is already 45 years old. It is highly unlikely that James Coburn was a student of Seagal at that time. This is because Seagal was just an ordinary American teenager who at the time lived in Japan. He was not yet the martial arts master he would become years later. Isn't this sounds suspicious too? Let's see what else Seagal said in the interview.
So you met Bruce Lee. Tell me about your experiences with Bruce and what was he like and how did you get on with him?
You know, I wasn't around Bruce much. He was a kind of guy who kind of would badmouth most, a lot of the other martial artists and martial arts in a kind of a sarcastic way, fun way, which I understood from.
So, Seagal is saying Bruce Lee was the kind of guy who kind of would badmouth most other martial artists. For people who really know Bruce Lee, everyone knows Bruce Lee will never badmouth any other martial artist. So, this is definitely hilarious.
He never had anything bad to say about me. He was quite interested in Aikido, and he was very nice to me. He knew that I grew up in Asia and that I had a son that was just exactly the same age as Brandon. And when I met Brandon, he had lighter hair and said, "This is my little Caucasian boy," you know.
All right. Now this is way beyond humorous. In the interview, Steven Seagal say that he and Bruce Lee exchanged stories about their sons. Seagal say that he had a son that is about the same age with Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was born in 1965, and Steven Seagal's eldest son, Kentaro Seagal, was born in 1975. Kentaro Seagal was not only 10 years younger to Brandon, but also born 2 years after Bruce Lee's death. In fact, when Brandon Lee was born, Steven Seagal was only 12 years old. Isn't that funny? So, after watching what Steven Seagal said in the footage here, do you think he actually met and trained with Bruce Lee? Or you don't think that Steven Seagal had met Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee and James Coburn are no longer around? So, Seagal could say anything. Do you think Seagal is telling the truth? Or he just wants to attach the fame of Bruce Lee? Please leave your comment below. We would like to hear from you.
You're about to witness the most lethal mixed martial artist in the world in action. If the other man wants to live, he better tap. Good. Here he is in his prime. Admire the precision, the speed of his movements. See how they all fall like flies. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I've seen this man before.
This is the most difficult thing for me to talk about because I could make something up that would sound better. The truth is just too hard to believe for everybody.
I was born from a mother who was found in a shoebox when she was born. My mother was American Indian.
Are you of Italian descent?
Yeah, I have some Italian on my mother's side and some French.
My mother was a Mohawk. I think that my mother's side is probably Irish. My grandmother surely looks pure Mohawk, and I'm pretty sure she is.
Grandmother in your lineage that is Mongolian?
They look like Russian Mongols, but I don't know what they are, but they're something Asian. Father's a Russian Mongol. Part of his family are from Texas, so let's put it this way. I'm Russian. I'm a lot more Asian than I am American. I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian Mongolian, and we don't really know which tribe it is, and all of those people are dead now, so I can't ask them. Asian, I don't know what the hell I am, but am I allowed to cuss on this show, or?
Texas, so like a lot more Asian than I am.
Where were you born?
Michigan.
Great state, Michigan.
Not too many people out there from Michigan, huh? But in Detroit, everybody had come out of the Deep South to work in the steel mills. In my neighborhood, it was all Delta people from the Deep South.
You talked a little bit about being exposed to the blues growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing music almost before I started anything. And I've been playing since I was a baby. B.B. King was like a father to me. B.B. taught me a lot about life. I was lucky enough to meet and play with most of the great blues legends of America.
I don't know what color I am, but I know one thing. I was the only one that wasn't black that I knew that played exactly like them.
Because the essence of the blues is story. Any great director, the first thing they have to learn is how to tell a story. And that's the first thing a blues man have to do, is tell a story. I was born clairvoyant. I was born a healer. I was born very different. I never, ever thought I was anything special. I just thought, I'm just a simple country boy. I'm just a guy.
In an interview with People magazine, Steven's own mother described him as a frail, puny kid who suffered from asthma.
Steven, has anybody ever bullied you, like from when you were a kid? Do you have any memories of that happening?
Can you beep what I say if I...
Yes, honey. Yeah.
I've had an ass whooping once or twice when I was young.
Oh, there you go.
Until one event would change the course of his life.
When I was young, I saw the martial arts being demonstrated at a football halftime.
And during the halftime, they had these Japanese masters come out. And I saw this little old man throwing people around like they were, feathers. And I looked at my father and I said, Daddy, that's what I was born to do. My dream was to be one of the best martial artists in the world. In America, there are very few dojos in the 50s. Asian masters are usually cooks in hotels and restaurants and stuff like that, and so sort of lied about my age and got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. One of the cooks there was a guy called Sakamoto Sensei, and he saw that when I was washing the dishes and moving around that I moved very fast, and I said, do you know karate? And he said, yes, I do. Why do you ask? Is there any way you would teach me karate? And he said, yeah. And he started making me do something called the makiwara. And you just punch that makiwara and you learn how to punch for about 2 years. I kept saying to him, I see you have other students here, I want to fight them. And he said, why don't you learn how to punch before you want to fight? And when you fight, you will fight to destroy. And if they die, that's fine. So I just thought, nobody's going to beat me. And nobody did.
How old were you when you went to Japan?
Probably when I went to live there, I was about 17 years old.
Wow.
I wanted to study the martial arts and the mysticism and healing arts.
And did you have a job there, or were you just there studying, or a little of both?
I started out studying martial arts, acupuncture, herbology, bone manipulation, things like that.
And started studying mostly Aikido.
And there's a reason why I chose Aikido as my art, and I have, because it is, movement that is in harmony with the universe. The founder of Aikido was also a mystic, He developed an art where there was no punching, kicking, blocking, and he believed that he could develop this art in such a way that you could redirect the attack of someone, put them down and pin them without, beating them up or breaking their neck or their bones.
I was able to meet one of my closest friends, Isoyama Sensei.
彼と会ったのは愛木神社で
初めて会ったんですけども、その時彼はね、若いにもかかわらず、
I grew up in a very, very dangerous area, an area that was all gangsters, yakuza, fighting every day.
ああ、よかったんだな。ね。重曹面白かったね、重曹。
Hundreds of times we've had to use this in the streets, and that's how you know what works and what
In
doesn't.
terms of your life in America, you've been very much caught up in all the allegations of sexual harassment. You had an allegation against you, and I wonder how you deal with all that. Hello, Steven Seagal.
Take the microphone off you.
Yeah.
So he gets in touch with Putin, wants a Russian citizenship. He's over there now.
Mr. Putin presented a Russian passport to the Hollywood action star Steven Seagal.
Has he really moved to Russia?
Yeah, he moved to Russia. I don't know if he moved there or we sent him there and told him not to come back, but...
Basically hiding in Russia over a bunch of charges.
This is what I've heard.
Why else would he be living in Russia right now? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. I mean,
seriously.
Mr. Putin told the actor that he hoped that this would serve as a symbol of what he described as a gradual normalization of relations between Moscow and Washington. The actor has described Mr. Putin as one of the greatest world leaders.
I love Vladimir Putin, and I think he's a wonderful human being, a great world leader, a real man. And I think he loves the martial arts.
I was specifically designated to better relations between America and Russia, and nothing could be more difficult right now. And we think that the only way to really create world balance and world power and peace in the world is if America and Russia become brothers and best friends. And that's my mission in life.
Are you enjoying yourself there?
Couldn't enjoy it more. And I call Hollywood the cannibal house because most of those people will eat each other to get ahead. They will do anything to get ahead, and they don't realize that if they're lucky, 1 in a million or 1 in 10 million, they'll be on top of the world, and the next minute, no matter who they are, they're going to fall down. Because that's the essence of delusion.
Do you still fight?
Yes, I do.
You still dangerous?